Hello, my name is Phil Harfield, Senior Lecturer in Design Thinking and Innovation at the University of South Wales. In this session we'll be exploring how design thinking can help us untangle some of the complex challenges we face. Design thinking is a human-centred approach. By human-centred, we mean ensuring that people are at the focus. In solving a problem, we answer a human need, perhaps a product or a service providing a benefit to us. Perhaps better health or well-being, or answering a future challenge we might have. Design thinking uses many well-established ways of problem solving. These include creative tools of the trade used in response to a design brief, such as user research, idea generation, prototyping, etc. The use of social science-derived research methods, such as ethnographic interviews and observational studies, and business-orientated approaches such as value propositions, business models, etc., provide a diverse and rich approach to problem solving. So let's quickly run through the key design thinking phases and how they're applied to a complex problem. Although it's often visualised as a process, as in this example from the UK Design Council, in practice it's a more dynamic, iterative way of constantly rethinking your assumptions through research and testing. Having said that, visualizations will help you create a mental model of where you are and how you're progressing. Here we see the discover, define, develop and delivery phases and how they channel us from the general challenge to a specific solution. First, the discovery phase. Here we create choices through divergent thinking. This is where our research leads the way for our understanding of the problem and how do we progress. For challenges with enormous scope, for example supporting the ageing population to live healthy and productive lives, we first need to have an open mind. An open mind as to what the aspects of the problem we need to focus on. Here, divergent thinking means you must consider a wide range of possibilities. We should consider the context. Are there specific groups or demographic types of people who are at the centre of our problem? For example, people with disabilities, or people who are more exposed to the problem due to social or economic issues. To discover how such factors inform people's behaviours and their experiences, we need to undertake some primary research. Research such as observation, where we study the behaviour of the people implicated. For example, in the case of our support healthy ageing problem, we might observe a day in the life, or a specific task, or social event. The important thing is to be inquisitive, to notice the unusual, perhaps the hidden, the workarounds people employ, which might hint of an unmet need. Another important avenue for research is finding ways which allow people to tell their stories. Interviews and narrative methods such as role play, exploring future scenarios, or journey mapping of experiences are important methods. Systems thinking, where we consider the bigger picture, is also a key part of the discovery phase. As the systems in which people live and organisations operate are influenced, constrained and dictated to by others in that system. Again, if we think about our healthy ageing challenge, perhaps difficulties are exacerbated by the pace of technological change, or perhaps access to local services. Developing an empathetic mindset is an important attribute of a design thinker. So we need to immerse ourselves in the problem and try to experience it from the perspective of others. That is where you become the problem holder. For example, experience the difficulties firsthand of undertaking an everyday task, perhaps for our elderly person's perspective. The mix of data and insights gained allows us to identify themes and specific problems which form the basis for a design brief. For example, our ageing challenge may have identified specific interrelated problems, such as isolation, loneliness, communication barriers, or mobility issues. These themes provide a basis for our development phase, where we can again engage divergent thinking to encourage imaginative, radical, and perhaps disruptive ideas to evolve. The way we generate ideas perhaps undermines the notion of the genius eureka moment. Ideas come from collaboration, from building on the ideas of others, from critical comparison, from lateral thinking. But having ways to stretch our thinking and nudge us into reframing the problem are important to overcome our assumptions or biases. One such method is analogies, where how another industry tackles a similar challenge, analogous to ours, may suggest ways to think about our situation differently. A great example is how the University Hospital of Wales collaborated with Formula One pit crews to understand how streamlined processes could be translated to their neonatal care unit. Other lateral thinking methods you could try are random word association or provocation, where a statement that we know is wrong or impossible is used to trigger new ideas. So you now have many diverse ideas, that's great, but as we aim to move into the delivery phase, finding the right ideas to develop into concepts can be daunting. It needn't be. One way is to explore the preferred outcome for the problem. Keeping in mind the challenge, describe criteria for its successful outcome. Then you can reflect on the feasibility of this idea. Can I do this with the resources at hand? The viability. Would other stakeholders support this? And perhaps more importantly, the value, the impact on the people at the centre of the problem. Does it answer their needs? Perhaps it answers their most pressing needs. An iterative approach and critical mindset are really our friends here. Seeking feedback from the people and organisations with major stakes in the problem is essential. It's essential to move the several ideas to concepts which can be prototyped and tested. This constantly questioning and collaborative approach, where you steer the design towards a preferred solution, is at the core of design thinking. Exploring complex challenges with this mindset, where you understand the problem through understanding the needs of the people involved, will help you develop some critical thinking skills and hopefully new ways of understanding and seeing the world.